All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this morning during my Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central, in this case, board game stream, going to be showing you some more X-Wing 2.0 for Star Wars. Yeah, I call it 2.0. It's whenever you see these black boxes, it's just the newest edition of X-Wing. Because X-Wing, even though you can play the models 1.0 with 2.0, the rules don't follow over or any of the cardboard. So it's new stuff for all that. But you can use the same ships, which is cool. So you get one of those conversion kits. But in this case, what we're really excited is for the Star Wars X-Wing TIE RB Heavy. Because I had assumed, I actually got, which I really do have, practically all of the 1.0 ships. And I thought the 2.0 ships were just re-releasing old shit. But they are putting out some new stuff, and I didn't realize they put out that this RB Heavy was actually one I didn't have. And it's really cool because they can see, especially when I unbox it, it looks like it's like a tie, a huge tie like the tie Punisher, but instead of having a whole bunch of ordnance, it looks like it just has this big-ass fucking guns, like a battleship. So that's really, it seems like it's really fun, so I'm going to see what it's all about. And definitely, if you like what you see or have any comments, be sure to leave it here on the stream at twitch.tv/Ismortah. But also, you can catch me on YouTube the following day at Shadow Balance Games. Check out the vid if you want to do the same. All right, let me just make sure the sound's coming out good. Sound is good. Let me check picture. The zooming isn't great, but I'll fix when I show it up to the camera. Cool. All right, so if we look at the box, like this is an unboxing video. Again, how my unboxing videos, I just show you literally what's in the box. I might get into some of that, what's cool about abilities, but it's not a how to play. It's not a talk about meta strategy, just showing you what's in the box, what you get. Cool shit. Stop Anachronist TV. I know, you go heavy or go home, right? No, this just looks cool. This looks like, it's like if a TIE fighter and a B-Wing had a baby. That's what it looks like. It's like, let's just put big-ass guns on a big-ass TIE. So I was like, holy shit. So yeah, we'll check this out. All right. As I may have mentioned before in a previous stream, or maybe it was just to Anachronist TV, was that I'm kind of not a fan of getting any more X-Wing 2.0 just because I'm not a huge... Even though the UI and those gameplay improvements, I just don't... There's also some, what I would call UI D improvements, as well as I don't like how unfriendly it is to try to make a points build. Like, as far as if you make builds, if you've never played the game before, you just want to quickly play, you get to say, oh, here's the build to play, which is cool. But if you want to build your own points and mix and match cards, which is honestly half the fun of this game, it's a little convoluted how to do that. The fact that you have to use an app, and then the app's no longer supported, so it's like, so I'm supposed to do this how? Anyway. But there is an app that people still use, so if you have that, you can still just use those endpoints to just... It was a good idea at the time, just because you can keep updating the points for tournament reasons, but it's right now it's kind of unfortunate because I can't look at cards and make a build. I have to look somewhere else and then look back. So it's like Anyway, unboxing. What do you get? Looks like you got what's in little card of what's in there, your stands, your cards and punch, and of course your RB dude. So I'm still trying to get the RB dude. It's in a clamshell. It's just like glued to the front instead of being in the box. So I'm trying to figure out how to get it up. It looks like it's glued to the top. It doesn't come out of the box. So that's a little convoluted. How do I get this out? I mean, it's literally glued. I have to like make a hole from the back. All right. Fucking weird. See what I mean? It's glued to the back. Fucking weird. I understand they want it to look cool and fit, but it's like, you gotta make it user friendly to get the shit out. I don't know. There we go. Looks like just ripping from the bottom. But it looks like and the reason why I hope it's not truly glue, it looks like it's not. It looks like the clamshell was holding, the clamshell is glued to the cardboard, but in the clamshell is a plastic vac tray that holds the ship. The reason why that's important, because that's why I want to save. Because I could recommend, especially for anything that's, for any miniatures that have really delicate pieces like a lightsaber or the tie wings, they're very delicate, can bend and fold. I recommend keeping the vac tray, the plastic tray, just because you can use it for transport to keep it safe. So keeping the box, no, but keeping this tray, see, yes, because it's great pocket for transportation. That's one of the problems I'm still trying to solve, which it definitely, if you have any comments, let me know. And I'll probably do a future stream when I found a solution, is how the hell do you store and transport all of your Legion, Crisis Protocol, any miniatures really? Like, all of the solutions I found so far are very expensive. So it's like trying to find a cheap solution. Yeah, you definitely need Sith powers to open. That's for damn sure. I mean, it looks like a cocaine bear chewed this up, right? All right, so yeah, so I'll keep this guy. Unless there's a lid to it. Yeah, there is. Cool. Awesome. So keep the lid. That way you can transport it. It's all nice and fresh. Whereas this is not so fresh. Cool. All right. So first, of course, I'll show you the mini, of course. That's what it's all about. And it looks like this gun might swivel. Maybe. I mean, definitely as far as gameplay, I'm sure it swivels, but the actual miniature, I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, it does swivel. I don't want to break it. I don't want to swivel in a direction it's not supposed to swivel, but it looks like it definitely has some swivel action. You know, you gotta make the tie sound, of course. All right, let me get this stuff out of the shot so I can try to get this to zoom for you guys. Man, I really gotta get this shit out of the shot. It's like trying to focus on words that I don't want to focus on. Focus on this. There we go. I think it's because my camera thinks all this white and black in the background is lettering, so it's trying to figure it out. And see, I get this. See, it gets a little bit of swivel action here. So it goes doo doo doo. I'll do some more shots holding up as well. Pretty cool. It's pretty big. And that's why I'm comparing it to the TIE Punisher. It doesn't have a similar shape, but the size is the same as TIE Punisher. Just like a huge, enormous TIE fighter. All right, back to the other goods. Again, I recommend keeping the tray for storage. This is just the plastic pieces to put it together in the stand that it's on. You need that to build. I'm just going to keep it here because I'm not going to build it during the stream. All right, so this is a little instruction sheet on what you get and any rules changes. Looks like there's some rules. There's strain, which is different from stress. I remember seeing strain, and I think that was introduced in 2.0 for certain types of things, which is like stress. You see, it's a bad thing that happens. It's red, but it's different. There's strain and there's stress. It says, while a strained ship defends, it rolls one fewer defense die. And then once you do that and roll one less defense die, then you lose the strain. So it's not. It looks like it's not something you have to correct. It's just a penalty you have until someone takes advantage of the penalty. And then you have, it's saying there's a way that you can expose damage cards. They can cause damage cards to be flipped. So if someone had, I guess, a damage card, because in this game, if you flip a damage card, then it becomes a crit. You get a critical effect that happens, right? Which means, actually, no, this is saying you can expose a damage card. I think I'm mixing it up with Armada has crit. I'll also read this for shits, just because this is introducing this rule. It says, some abilities can cause damage cards to be flipped. A face-down damage card can be exposed, flipping it face-up and resolving its effect, which would be like it was a crit. Exposing a damage card does not count as dealing a damage card and therefore does not trigger abilities related to suffering damage. If an ability exposes or repairs a ship's face-down damage card and that ship has multiple face-down damage cards, the card is selected randomly from the face-down damage cards the ship has unless an effect specifies otherwise. Players cannot read the text of a ship's face-down damage cards unless an effect instructs them to do so. So it looks like the turret can swivel 360. It was kind of tight, and I just don't recommend doing that because it seemed like it was pretty tight, and you don't want it to be so loose that it just spins around and points down, sort of thing. Because I don't know how much resistance there is. Like, you want to have enough resistance so you can turn it, but you don't want to have too little resistance that nothing holds it in place. So, but here it shows like how you could swivel the cannon and how you move the new gameplay mechanic that they introduced 2.0, which is the turret, that you actually have to, during your turn, say which direction a turret is facing. And then if you're in that line of sight, you could fire from it, sort of thing. That's pretty cool. Then on the back, you have credits and who was all involved in the game. And then, of course, the front had all item by item, all the stuff that was in it. All right, so what else we got here? Again, this isn't going to be a long stream, just an unboxing. Just want to show you this really cool ship, which I did not realize came out. And this probably came out a while ago, too. It's not like it came out this month or anything, if I recall. All right, so here you got the cardboard. Here you have the different negative tokens and the positive tokens, which you see of green and red, your dial, your where you can shoot, angles, your turrets, other identifiers, energy tokens. This is just what the backs look like. And then I'll show you the cards. All right, so let's see here. That's right. For 2.0, if not familiar, they also changed the shape of the cards so that your ship cards and your upgrade cards are all LCG size, like Magic card size. Whereas in 1.0, you had mini cards for the upgrade and this size cards for the your ships, which honestly I liked better. But I know some people complained because there wasn't a good way to store your small cards and your big cards together, unless they were the same size. So I'm sure that's also user feedback. But I just thought it was nicer because it's like you were upgrading this card with your little ones. I don't know. I just thought it was more immersive. Plus, I'm kind of not a fan of this wasted space on the card, sort of thing. But anywho, that's just a noticeable difference. All right, so we got it. So first, I'm going to show you the pilots. Yeah, sure. Like I said, I'm not going to read through all the minutia because I'm not getting into the meta of the game. Largely because I haven't actually played 2.0, and I haven't actually played X-Wing in a very long time, so I may not know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a tie you see with a lot of hull. See, it has no shields, which is surprising since you have huge weapons, but it's got a lot of hull. And weak maneuverability, as you would think. Decent gun for 2, but it's not as powerful as an X-Wing. But the fact that it has this additional turret, I think, is its coup de grace. And maybe also its special ability. And the fact that if you can strain ships. So that was Lytandri. Now here's Rampage. And you see on the right-hand side, that's the different actions you can take. And they're always a little different, even between pilots of the same ship. And if they're green or red, then, you know, that's means it causes stress or it gives you a bonus of some sort or what have you. Here's a generic one. Here's Onyx Squadron. And in the middle of the card, that's where you see some lore, or you read about a special ability from the pilot. But in any case, the bottom part of that center is also, will always be mechanically what's special about that ship. For example, when you're looking at these cards, whereas these might have different lore and special abilities here, for the pilot, the fact that they are RB heavy mechanically always have rotating cannons. So that's always something you can do. This changes. The pilots change. What's on the right-hand side looks like they're all the same. Same with the stats on the bottom. So I do really like the improvement for this UI. I think it's really good. And mechanically, it looks at adding the turret function. What I'm not a fan of is what the upgrade card looks like. But before we get to upgrade card, this is one quality of life thing that they added to, make it easy just to jump in. If you just want to play with the ship, as this shows how to build it to make it an even playing experience, showing that it's level 2 or level 3, and meaning that when you fight somebody else, you just match the levels, sort of thing, and this tells you what cards to include, which is cool. So you can just jump in. It just, if you want to customize, just like, you have to use the app, the phone app, to do so. Sorry. So these are just 2 different builds of how to pre-make each of those dudes and their respective difficulty level. Then lastly, we have a bunch of upgrade cards. Now, what's cool about upgrade cards is they're not all exclusively for the ship. So if you have like this ship and you have the Razor Crest, hey, there may be some weapons you can use on that ship. Or maybe sometimes it's a weapon that you can only use on a heavy tie. Or maybe it's something that has to be Galactic Republic, that sort of thing. But the card will tell you. So like, for example, this one, a blade of plating, you see that this can only go on a medium or large ship. But other than that, there's no restrictions. So this can go on resistance fighters, this can go on Clone Wars, Separatist armies shit, or, Galactic Empire. And the huge symbol shows you what type of upgrade it is. Because a ship there's only a certain number or types of icons that can go on certain ships. That's another thing they added to this, and there's two of these Deadeye shots, by the way, is Deadeye shot is talking about that you have to have someone square in front of you. What that means, I'll just show you. I'm not exhaustive of all the rules changes in 2.0. I just want to show you ones that are apparent. See, this here is the angles that you can do shots in the game. For example, look at this one here. So you can shoot front arc, side arc, back arc. But your ship will tell you what arc it could shoot from. Now, one of the arcs you could shoot from is Deadeye, which is if the guy is in line your sight in this space. As opposed to a cone, it's actually directly line of sight, directly in front of you. So there's some ships or abilities that if you have someone in this target area as opposed to the arc, different things happen. Which is all that means. All right, so what else we got? Some common favorites. Here we got a heavy laser cannon. So you can have more oomph to your shots. Or you can put on ion cannon. So you can help slow down ships. The reason why you want to do that instead of a lot of damage is because if you can slow a ship, then you can get them in your sights or get closer so you can do more damage and then really hit the ship. Because sometimes ships, if they're very maneuverable, it's unlikely you'll be able to hit. But if you can remove their defensive bonuses, then it makes you able to actually do some damage. Ion Limiter Override. I'm not sure I've seen this one before. Allows you to perform red maneuvers even while stressed. And if you do, you have a chance of getting an additional penalty. But the fact that you can do an ability while in the red, wow, that's pretty devastating. Someone thinks they're safe because you win the red, and here you can do it. So I'm just showing that I have two of those. Let's do this. We don't need to zoom in on showing two. Maneuver Asset MGK 300. So this is an upgrade that's unique only to the RB Heavy that allows you to do the movement that it specifies there. You see on the right hand side, so you can only go into TIE RB Heavy. Now, I don't know what it means by reduced difficulty. I think that just means it goes from red to gray or something like that. I'm not sure what it means by difficulty. I've never had it described that way before. And I also don't know what this icon means here. But you see, if you do a maneuver, you get a stress version of that. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, that icon. Unless that's supposed to be the focus icon. No, it's a unique icon I see. It's this icon here. I'll have to check the rule book and the stream just to see if it specifies what that is. Snapshot. Wow, an additional attack. That's actually really good. Especially with this huge weapons platform. That'd be able to shoot twice. Two of those. Synced laser cannons. Now this looks fucking sexy. Because this is showing that to equip this, you have to have two blaster slots. So take up 2 slots. So you need to have 2 and have 2 spaces. But the fact that this is a decent shot at 3, and then you have it so someone can't apply range bonuses at all. That's pretty cool. And then the last upgrade that I have is also specific to the TIE RB Heavy, which is a Target Assist MGK 300. Oh, I see. It's called a Calculate token. I just don't know what that token does. Wherever that token does looks like is a good thing. But I've just never heard of that one before. All right, so that's all the cards. Let me see if I can't figure out what that calculate token is, though. I don't see that on here at all. And, like, honestly, this isn't the first time FFG has made this error. They've done this also at, like I said in a previous stream, Marvel Champions, is if you reference on something for any reason, an ability, you have to mention it once somewhere, either in the rules or on the card, what the fuck it is. If this calculate token is not in the updated rules for 2.0 for the base game, then you need to say it in every expansion where you talk about it. Otherwise, you're assuming I bought your previous expansions to know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, I have no idea what a calculate token even does. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So I'll have to see. Like, it's either in the 2.0 rules or I'll have to go to FAQ online. I have absolutely no idea. It doesn't say here at all. It talks about strain, talks about exposing damage, how to swivel. There's nothing here about calculate tokens. I don't know. But that is everything in the box in a nutshell. Definitely look up how to do calculate tokens so you can play with this. Otherwise, focus tokens, strain, stress, that's all in 2.0 rules. Get some other good shots of this ship. I just thought it was cool. It's kind of like you have a battleship for a TIE fighter. I was like, wow. That's pretty cool. The fact that it has no shields is kind of weird, but I guess the whole assumption is use this just like a bomber to attack heavy targets. And again, keep the plastic. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. This is everything I have for the TIE RB Heavy. Of course, if you like what you saw, be sure to comment and follow here on twitch.tv/Ismortah. Or check me out on YouTube at Shadow Balance Games. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Ismortah, and I'll catch you next time.